Ladies and gentlemen, my name is PepperBelly, and what you are currently seeing right now is the utter and complete annihilation of Terran Republic's attempt at an offensive push to acquire Indar. Little did they know, a small outfit by the name of Vanu Hot Drop Syndicate was here to annihilate the crap out of them. Quite efficiently, I might add. Outnumbered 3-1, we still managed to hold our ground, preventing the Terran Republic from acquiring all of Indar, which is kind of a shame, and if I was Total Biscuit, I'd be quite embarrassed at watching this particular segment of gameplay, as the Terran Republic are completely ripped to pieces as they attempt at throwing their forces at us, letting us pretty much farm certs. They're useless. They were cannon fodder. We used them as target practice. It was quite entertaining to completely shoot the crap out of Terran Republic scum. Total Biscuit recently released a video which he sounded quite confident in his abilities to win this battle in the Ultimate Empire Showdown. But as you can see, the other display in front of you tells me otherwise. The fact that a small, highly skilled outfit known as the Vanu Hot Drop Syndicate can outsmart, outmaneuver, and outplay the Terran Republic's massive forces and push them away from their warp gate and prevent them from acquiring the entire continent and gaining its resources kind of tells me that they don't have what it takes, and their confidence speaks sheerly out of fear, hoping that they can win this battle and trying to scare us by using intimidating words and phrases. Our superior tactics, maneuverability, and our overall intelligence, as well as the technology that we currently have at our disposal, is pretty much going to grant us a win that no one else can possibly deny. There's nothing these guys can do to stop us, considering that a small outfit consisting of a little more than 250 members was able to completely annihilate the Terran Republic, consisting of numerous outfits combined together, including Let the Brit Drop, and having us still completely push them out of our zone and win the fight. Furthermore, continuing on the embarrassing display by the Terran Republic, shortly after we started making a retaliation, our rebuttal, our stand, pushing them out of our warp gate and completely annihilating them, they began to leave the area altogether, essentially rage quitting. They left to other continents where we had less influence, just so they can get that superior being, that superior faction feeling, that feeling that they are better than everyone else, which of course is obvious when you're fighting a snail. Smaller forces in other continents that clearly can't stand on their own, because they're individual players, non-organized fights, and they simply cannot withstand a full armada of untrained delinquents who delude themselves in believing that they're actually capable of winning a battle in which they can't even handle 200 troops. So the question becomes this, ladies and gentlemen. Who are you going to side with? Total Biscuit, representing the Terran Republic, showing off a crazy, disappointing display right in front of you, knowing that that's going to be you on the end of our barrels, getting annihilated as well? Or are you going to align yourself with Sea-Nanners, representing the new conglomerate, which is a complete joke of a faction on our server, has absolutely no organization, and we laugh at their attempt to get anything done. In fact, sometimes we offer truces just to let them get a little bit of room to maneuver, because they simply cannot handle the overwhelming, crushing force of the Vanu sovereignty. Those of you that are familiar with the Ultimate Empire Showdown that is going to transpire on January 25th of 2013, and you're probably aware that the Vanu sovereignty is going to be led by someone who isn't quite fitting for the part. He goes by the name of Tobuscus on YouTube. The complete lack of faith and confidence in his leadership is pretty much what's making the Vanu sovereignty somewhat weak at the moment by the players that do not really understand which outfits to join and exactly how to play. Rest assured, smaller outfits like ourselves, which isn't even that small to begin with, are clearly more than enough to win this battle on January 25th. Once it begins, it'll end quite quickly and abruptly, with purple flags swaying in the wind at the end of it. You can be confident in knowing that outfits like ourselves will be on the sidelines leading alternate strategical offensives against the Terran Republic and the new conglomerate, and will do so effectively in eliminating them and taking what is rightfully ours on Araxis. Now don't get me wrong, I respect Total Biscuit, and in fact, he actually helped to boost my channel in some way or another. However, the fact that he aligned himself with communists, with people who are a military dictatorship, people that don't really understand the whole democracy slash the ways of the future, known as technological advancement, and the further adaptation and innovation of human life forms. That being, he simply needs to be eliminated because he doesn't want to get involved with us. He thinks we are heretics, a religious cult. That's not the case. We like freedom, but we also like technology, and we like the evolution of the human race as a whole. So, we will kill you repeatedly if you join the opposition and you fight against us, and we will look into your eyes, and the last thing you will see as the life drains from them is Golden Girls. Because being in part man, mechanical, and machinery, our eyeballs are also able to project TV images. So you will see that as you're dying. The worst show ever created in all of the world, you'll want to vomit, but who cares, you're already going to die anyway. Fighting the Vanu sovereignty would be a futile effort on your part. It'd be the equivalency of sending modern day soldiers to go back and fight the Roman Empire with the modern weapons and technology, while all they have is a bunch of flimsy swords, spears, and really crappy walls that a simple rocket can take care of. The new conglomerate have armor that looks like it was carved out of cardboard and pieced together with duct tape, while the Terran Republic have moderately decent looking equipment, but pretty cheesy, very lacking steel armor plating that knights used in the medieval era. Whereas the Vanu sovereignty have nanites, nano armor, high technology increasing the ability to adapt to all types of situations and all kinds of conditions that easily can keep us alive in dire situations. Using projectile ammo as well, it's kind of a laughable matter indeed when we're firing high velocity, extremely heated plasma, which will pretty much melt through Terran Republic armor and new conglomerate cardboard as easily as cutting through butter with a hot knife. So the question is, ladies and gentlemen, once again, who are you going to stand by? Who are you going to fight for? The cocky, inefficient Terran Republic, whose big heads are easy to split open aiming down the barrel of a sniper rifle, or the insignificant, completely joke of a faction known as the new conglomerate, who are incapable of performing the simplest tasks such as wiping their asses after taking a shit after seeing the Vanu sovereignty's might through technology rolling through their backyard. I mean, let's think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Every time you turn on your computer, that's technology. Every time you access the internet, that is also technology. Every time you use your phone, your smartphones, all those fancy gadgets are known as technology. The Vanu sovereignty are using highly adapted, improved versions of modern technology, which can evolve to the point of godlike levels. If you are not with us, you will surely die a grim and painful death. So with that, I wish you a Merry Christmas, a happy and safe holidays, and hopefully going into the new year, you'll make the right choice and join the Vanu sovereignty, and possibly join the Vanu Hot Drop Syndicate outfit, which alone, combined with some of the random stragglers that were running about within our battlefield, made the Terran Republic look rather foolish. I'll let this gameplay, the rest of it, speak for itself. You guys enjoy it, continue to watch it, and come the time for war, hopefully you made the right choice, and I'll see you on the battlefield alongside myself and fellow Vanu sovereignty soldiers. Take care, guys.
Eyes on enemy aircraft. Visual on hostile Sunderer.
Clear out of that area.
Visual on hostile light assault trooper. Just saw an enemy medic. Enemy heavy spotted. Enemy heavy spotted. Hostile light assault trooper spotted. Eyes open, enemy heavy. Spotted an enemy heavy. heavy nearby. Enemy medic spotted. Enemy heavy spotted. Enemy engineer spotted. Spotted an enemy heavy. Eyes open, enemy heavy. Alert, enemy heavy nearby. Enemy light assault in the area. Enemy engineer in the area. Visual on hostile light assault trooper. Enemy heavy spotted. Stay alert, enemy heavy nearby. Enemy light assault in the area. Spotted an enemy heavy. Hostile light assault trooper spotted. Enemy light assault in the area. Eyes on a hostile light assault trooper. Spotted an enemy heavy. Spare batteries. How many spare batteries? Need more batteries. Need more batteries. Batteries? ID on an enemy sunroof. Enemy sunroof in the area. Visual on a hostile engineer. Enemy engineer spotted. Enemy engineer in the area. Visual on hostile heavy armor. Enemy medic in the area. Heavy armor in the area. Infiltrator in the area. Spotted a hostile infiltrator. Hostile light assault trooper spotted. Enemy infiltrator spotted. Vanu smiles upon you. Spotted a hostile medic. We've got a hostile cloaker nearby. Spotted a hostile infiltrator. Enemy medic spotted. Spotted a hostile medic. Enemy light assaults in the area. ID on an enemy sunroof. Watcher 6, infiltrator in the area. Spotted a hostile infiltrator. Enemy engineer in the area. Spotted a hostile infiltrator. Eyes on a hostile light assault trooper. You've got a hostile cloaker nearby. We've got a hostile cloaker nearby. Eyes open. Enemy heavy. Enemy heavy. Enemy heavy. Spotted. Enemy heavy. Spotted. Eyes open. Enemy heavy. Stay alert. Enemy heavy nearby. Spotted a hostile infiltrator. We've got a hostile cloaker nearby. Enemy ATV spotted. Enemy ATV nearby. Enemy heavy spotted. Enemy medic in the area. Spotted a hostile engineer. Airborne target identified. Enemy medic in the area. Enemy medic in the area.
We close in on victory.
Do you have any spare batteries?
This facility now belongs to the VS.
I require medical batteries. Spare batteries. Spotted a hostile engineer. Any spare batteries? Stay alert. Enemy engineer spotted. I require more batteries. Enemy engineer in the area. eyes on an enemy gunship.